don't care who was the governor at the time or what. Like, ultimately, in the end, it was the state of Kentucky that let us down.
The judicial system, the whole judicial system let us down.
Right here tonight, one-on-one with WHAS11 News, the Tipton family talking to us tonight after the early release of the man who admitted to killing their son. Ron Exantis was rearrested in Florida, as you know, for failing to register as a felon.
And despite the Kentucky Parole Board voting to keep Exantis in prison, he was let out under state law. Now lawmakers are working to make changes. And here's some crucial background on the case. In 2015, Exantis drove to a central Kentucky home randomly, killing 6-year-old Logan Tipton and stabbing other members of his family. A jury found he was not guilty of murder by reason of insanity. Well, he was serving just a 20-year sentence for assault on the boy's family. Exantis was released under state law on mandatory re-entry supervision just 2 weeks ago. Our Ian Hardwick sat down with the Tipton family.
Just imagine waking up every morning with what happened that night replaying in your head, hearing my brother screaming for help.
Coral Tipton was 11 when she dialed 911.
Just imagine that.
Her dad, Dean Tipton, just wrestled a knife out of an intruder's hands, Ronald Exantis' hands. It was December 7th, 2015. Versailles police had Exantis on the ground. Dean's son, Logan, was stabbed.
I did not know that he was hurt. He was laying there and I grabbed him and I'm holding him and I'm screaming for help. He's gasping for air. 5 seconds after I've got my hands on him, that he looked at me, he closed his eyes, and he was gone.
Exantis received a 20-year sentence for assaulting Logan's father and sisters. Let out 7 years in, Exantis was rearrested in Florida for failing to register as a felon. But while Exantis admitted to killing Logan in court, he was found not guilty because of insanity. Logan's mom, Heather Tipton, watched the whole trial.
I don't think the jury wanted to send him to death if he was experiencing a psychotic event.
Since Exantis' release, Heather's been looking over her shoulder.
Like every little sound I heard for over a week, my stomach would drop.
He needs to go, to prison for the rest of the term. It would only be another 10 years. It needs to be longer than that, but, get as much as we can.
Kentucky State Representative Jason Nemes of Middletown wants to strip a jury's ability to find people insane through Logan's law.
And so it's hard to understand how you can be insane for one crime, but not insane for the two other crimes that were close in time.
So yeah, he might be in jail right now, but for how long? And then we get to go through that all over again.
A flashpoint in time set to replay again over another 10 years. In Louisville, Ian Hardwick, WHAS 11 on your side.
Now, while the White House has said they're investigating this case, we've heard no word on if there could be a federal murder trial. Worth noting, Exantis did cross state lines from Indiana to Kentucky when he went over to the Tipton's home.
Ian, you spent a lot of time with them in Versailles just last night, several hours as a matter of fact, even going to one of the sporting events there, the other child there involved in this. Do they still live in the Versailles area? Do they live near where this attack happened?
Doug, they still live in Woodford County, but they do not live in that home where this happened. The Woodford County people actually came together. They raised a bunch of money for this family to be able to actually move into a new home. There's a lot of bad memories tied up in that old place, and it's a good thing they're out of there.
I remember when it happened and people were outraged by the jury's decision at the time, and I guess a lot of folks do think maybe they were confused.
That outrage has carried over the past 10 years, and it's still alive and well today, Connie.
They brought up the jury a lot to you.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they're confused, and so is Representative Nemes, and that's why they want to change some things.
All right.
Thank you very much, Ian.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing no opposition.
Cheers erupting in Meade County today at this big meeting. Hundreds of residents coming out in opposition of turning farmland into a potential data center. Not in my backyard is certainly a familiar theme when it comes to these large data centers.
This afternoon, the Meade County Planning and Zoning Commission recommended to reject rezoning that 135 acres of farmland into an IT data center. And our Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Gabby DeGeorge join us live in Meade County right now. So Alexandra, it really looks like that big crowd made a difference.
Connie, Doug, absolutely. Look, this 135 acres in Meade County is at the center of controversy. And as you mentioned, hundreds of residents came to a planning and zoning meeting in protest of this proposed rezoning that would change a piece of farmland near the Joe Prater Highway and Garrett Road to potentially an IT data center. And there was celebration when that proposal was rejected. Take a look at your screens now. This is the Meade County Fairgrounds. It was a packed house. Over 150 residents signed up to speak about what environmental and quality of life impacts would be if this plot of land, which is currently zoned as agricultural and residential, is rezoned to a category called light industrial, which would accommodate an IT facility.
We already have an industrial zone. We already have an industrial area set. It's already causing constraint and issues for people who want to go and hike and walk at Buttermilk Falls. It's humming. It's loud. They're annoying. It's not set up.
So at the beginning of the meeting here, the Planning and Zoning Commission wanted to make it clear that they were not the ones to bring this forward. The commission merely hears information brought forth by the public and, of course, the applicant, who in this case is a man named Tommy Hobbs, who owns the property. And many residents here today said that Meade County doesn't have the water resources to accommodate a project like this. The county doesn't have the electrical resources to sustain this project. But the bottom line here was homeowners don't want this industrial campus in their yards. Now, this recommendation will go straight to the fiscal court tonight at 7 here in Meade County. That's where we're live. Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 on your side. Connie, Doug.
All right, Alexandra, thank you so much for that update. We appreciate it.
Covering that big vote there. Now let's get the latest look at, I think, the live picture right behind meteorologist Matt Breland says it all. There's not a cloud behind you anywhere as far as the eye can see there, Matt.
That's exactly right. Yeah, clear, quiet, dry for us this evening across Kentuckiana. All of us are seeing these blue skies, a very nice start to our Tuesday evening for us. This view is brought to us by the Shriners Children's Hospital in Lexington, keeping temperatures in the mid-70s at the moment for the airport and also near Bowman Field. Winds staying out of the northeast around 10 miles per hour and the sunshine stretching for all of us. A very sunny pattern around for us as we go throughout the rest of our day, and also feeling very pleasant out there as these dew points still remaining into the lower 50s, which is allowing the temperature to feel very light, very comfortable for us. We're going to continue keeping that northeast wind arriving, keeping us under those dry conditions throughout the remainder of the evening and throughout the night. Past 11 p.m., quiet, cool, and dry as we go throughout our overnight hours, and we're starting tomorrow morning off with temperatures cooler again into the 50s with another round of sunshine. But we are tracking some changes as we head into our next upcoming days. Tomorrow's still looking good to go, but we are going to talk about some chances for some thunderstorms this weekend. All those details are coming up in just a few short minutes. Doug, Connie?
Matt, thanks so much. More top stories here for you tonight at 5. Madison, Indiana's chief of police is no longer in office tonight, and that's according to Mayor Bob Courtney of Madison. According to the city, Assistant Chief of Police Rick Munt will serve as the interim chief in Madison. He's been with the department for 30 years. Mayor Courtney did not give a reason as to why Sean Scudder is no longer in his role. Scudder took over the role as Madison's police chief in December of 2023. The search for a permanent new chief will start in the coming weeks.
Right now, a person is recovering in the hospital after a morning house fire in Newburgh. Fern Creek, Okolona, and Jeffersontown Fire were all dispatched to the 4200 block of Monticello Road around 7 this morning on reports of that fire. Officials said firefighters didn't know if a person was inside until they actually found that person. Well, Fern Creek Assistant Chief Dwayne Hutchins says making rescues like this all comes down to being prepared.
We don't make this type of fire every day, you know, so you've got to train for this event when it does happen. So, and that's attributed to our training and just the men and women that are on the service that you know, risk their lives every day. You got to be willing to do that in order to make a rescue like this.
Now, officials didn't share with us what condition the victim is in. However, they did confirm that they were the only person in the home at the time of that fire. Assistant Chief Hutchins says no one else was injured and surrounding homes were not damaged. The cause is under investigation. And new today, the community care campus is getting a big boost.
Well, this morning, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg and the Jewish Heritage Fund announced a major donation to the community care campus. The $500,000 contribution will be made to the VOA Community Care Campus's Young Adult Transitional Housing Program, which is located in the Smoketown neighborhood. The campus is currently building 15 affordable housing units fit for young adults who make up Louisville's unhoused community. Now, the Jewish Heritage Fund is also contributing $150,000 to YMCA Safe Place Services, which will operate the program once the construction is finished. Safe Place has impacted hundreds of Louisville's young people like Isaiah Daniels.
I've been homeless multiple times. The first time, I was at my lowest point. I thought I had no one else to turn to at all. That's when I met some pretty amazing staff at Safe Place. From that point of connection, I always knew that I had people to turn to no matter what.
Last year, Safe Place assisted 158 homeless young adults through street outreach, up from 133 the year before.
Well, some firefighters in southern Indiana have new gear to wear to protect them from fires, thanks to a $146,000 grant from the Assistance to Firefighters grant. Highlander Fire was able to buy that new gear. The department received 44 new sets, and each includes a structural helmet, jacket, pants, boots, and gloves. Ryland Houchin with the department told WHAS each set lasts about 10 to 15 years, and the previous gear was reaching the end of its shelf life.
We'll immediately put this gear into service as soon as they try their gear on, make sure it fits, there's no mistakes in spelling of their names. Sometimes when you grow rapidly, trying to catch up is very difficult.
The new gear was very much needed, and Highlander previously said its gear was around for almost 2 decades before. That new equipment also includes an extra layer of protection around it as a film containing a cancer reduction agent. According to the American Cancer Society, firefighters have a higher mortality risk for most cancers.
New here at 5 tonight, a trailblazing brewery is closing its doors this Saturday in the Highlands of Louisville after 4 years of operations. In 2021, Louisville was the first expansion location for Asheville, North Carolina's Highwire Brewery. The brewery announced that its Louisville tap room, located on Baxter Avenue, is going to be closing this Saturday. Highwire Brewing said it's celebrating all week with $2 draft pints, $5 package beer to go, and 50% off merchandise. Plus, the tap room is offering deals on furniture and bar equipment. The tap room originally opened in the summer of 2021. It was also the first out-of-state brewery to open in Kentucky at the time. Highwire says it's going to be focusing its energy now on its North Carolina and Tennessee Highwire locations. A day after the Israel-Hamas ceasefire is signed, 5 more Palestinians are dead. We hear from an expert who says he doesn't believe it will derail the peace treaty.
And here's a look at the Kentucky Lottery jackpot numbers. The Mega Millions at $600 million, the Powerball $273 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students.